Today, we're going to look at three things that are shaping modern India: a state election, some massive traffic jams, and a multi-million-dollar sports deal. Now, I know on the surface they seem to have absolutely nothing in common, but stick with me because when you put them all together, they tell a really fascinating story about a nation on the move.
So yeah, we've got a high-stakes election, total gridlock in the capital city, and a huge investment in table tennis? It's a pretty odd mix, right? So the big question is, what's the connection here? What's the largest story they're all pointing to? Let's dive in and break it all down. First up, let's head to the political battlefield. We're going to focus on the state of Bihar, which is often seen as a bellwether, an indicator of which way the country's political winds are blowing.
Okay, so Phase 1 of the Bihar Assembly elections is officially underway. We're talking about a massive democratic exercise here, kicking off in 121 constituencies spread across 18 different districts. And believe me, this is just the very beginning of a huge political contest.
But here's why you should really pay attention. There's a huge ripple effect. This election, it's not just about who's going to govern Bihar. Because the state is so large and so politically important, the results can actually signal shifts in national alliances, they can test the strength of the major parties, and ultimately, they can influence the balance of power across the entire country.
All right, let's shift gears now. We're moving from the ballot box to the busy streets of the capital. This is where we see this incredible intersection of tradition, faith, and, well, the challenges of a modern megacity. So, Delhi just hosted two absolutely enormous public gatherings. One was a celebration for the 150th anniversary of the song Vande Mataram, and the other was a major religious pilgrimage. The sheer scale of these events meant the city had to implement major traffic restrictions, and it basically brought parts of the capital to a total standstill.
And this really highlights a fundamental tension, doesn't it? On one hand, you've got this powerful cultural mobilization, this incredible display of heritage and faith that brings huge numbers of people together. But on the other hand, it creates a massive urban challenge, pushing the city's infrastructure, its traffic management, and its civic planning to their absolute limits.
Okay, so from the domestic stage, let's zoom out a bit and take a look at India's growing presence in the global arena. This is all about a brand new kind of pitch, and no, it has nothing to do with cricket.
Just take a look at this number, $3 to $5 million US. That is a pretty significant investment. The question is, where is all that money going?
It's a major commitment from World Table Tennis. And it's not just a one-off payment either. This is a strategic, multi-year plan. They're going to launch a dedicated Indian branch. They're going to invest to build infrastructure from the ground up, and they're partnering with local experts to really grow the sport.
So what's the big deal here? Well, it's a crystal clear signal that the world sees India as a major market for sports beyond just cricket. And it reflects a growing ambition inside India to become a serious competitor in a wider range of global sports. It's a key part of what experts call soft power, influencing the world through cultural appeal, not just through force.
Okay, so now it's time to connect the dots. We've seen a political battle, we've seen a cultural gathering, and we've seen a global sports deal. Let's see how they all fit into this bigger picture of a nation in constant, dynamic motion.
Let's just break down how these pieces fit together. You take the Bihar elections. The direct impact, state governance, of course. But the broader implication is all about national power dynamics. Then you have the Delhi events. Sure, they cause traffic jams, but they point to this much larger challenge of balancing culture with city planning. And finally, the table tennis launch. Yeah, it'll grow the sport, but it's really a story about India's expanding global soft power. See? Each event is a piece of a much larger puzzle.
And all of this brings us to one final big question. We're seeing these powerful forces, domestic politics, deep-rooted culture, and rising global ambition, all interacting and sometimes, even colliding with each other. As they continue to converge, the real question isn't if they will create change, but what new challenges and what incredible new opportunities are going to emerge for India as it moves forward.